A lot's being made of the return of Teofimo Lopez. Finally, this weekend, finally, we're getting Teofimo Lopez versus Kambosos. And I think there are a lot of people out there who don't really know much about Kambosos. They don't know as much as they're letting on. They don't know that this guy is a tough fighter. He's a tough fighter. Australian, he's tough. He's got sort of that Catsides vibe about him. Just a little tough, tighter with his shots than Catsides, but same type of vibe about him. So not an easy mandatory to be fighting, especially coming off of a year layoff at this point. The thing that I worry about as far as Lopez, so when we think about how could a guy who is a plus 600, plus 700 underdog as Kambosos is pull off an upset? One, you have to have the A side, the guy who is the favorite, not show up, just not be on his game. B side, he's on, B level that night, C level, makes a lot of mistakes, looks past the fight. Also, the underdog shows up. But what worries me about this fight for Lopez is his head there for the Kambosos fight? This could have sort of Danny Garcia versus Mauricio Herrera vibes. Remember when Danny Garcia beat Lucas Matisse, beat him up pretty bad? He was a plus 300 underdog against Matisse. That was coming off of the Mir Khan fight earlier on, where he was a big upset, big underdog in that fight as well. But he had a lot of momentum going. People started talking about him being a top 10 pound for pound type of guy. Starts to do a lot of media. Doesn't take Herrera seriously, goes down to Puerto Rico, gets beat by Herrera, but gets a gift decision. But it was clear that Danny Garcia did not have his A game. He was the clear favorite in that fight. Finally, a big fight where he was a clear favorite and he did not show up. He did not know how to handle it. Could we have the same thing here for Teofimo Lopez? I doubt it because of the styles. And I'll talk about that more in a separate video as I do my official prediction for this fight. I don't think an upset is coming, but I do think this fight is going to have moments early on where Teofimo is not going to look particularly good because of Kambosos' style, and Kambosos will hit him early on. And if Teofimo does not show up, things can get a little bit weird early for him. The thing that I worry about is there's a sort of thing, there's a thing called a trap game in sports. In boxing, you would call it a trap match that bettors look for when they're looking at sports. Where you have a fighter, let's look at Teofimo Lopez, perfect example, comes off the biggest victory of his career against Lomachenko. Huge victory. And he looked special in that victory. He beat Lomachenko at his own game. He beat him with speed. He knocked off his angles. Great performance by Teofimo Lopez. And then you have Teofimo Lopez looking ahead to possible fights with Josh Taylor, possible fight with Devin Haney. And in between that is this guy, a mandatory, who not too many people know, who is tough, who does seem to have a good chin, who does fight with activity. That if Teofimo Lopez is looking past him, it becomes a trap match, what's called the trap match. Coming off of a big victory, looking ahead to big things, and then in between that, you've got this trap that you could fall into. In sports, it's called trap games. Bettors make a lot of money off of just pinpointing trap games. In football and basketball, let's say you beat the Patriots, and then the next week you play the Detroit Lions, and then the following week you're going to play, say, the Tennessee Titans, who are good. The Detroit Lions are the low point of the league, but guess what? You might not cover the odds because you're not looking forward to playing the Lions. You're already looking ahead to playing the Tennessee Titans. It's the same type of thing here. Is Teofimo Lopez still on a high from beating Lomachenko and looking forward to bigger and better things and looking past Kambosos? Could this be a trap fight for Teofimo Lopez? That's the thing to look for early. And how you pinpoint if it is when Kambosos starts to have success early, which he could have regardless, right? Even if Teofimo shows up, This is going to be an entertaining fight early because of the styles. And there will be a knockout in this fight. I don't think it's going 12. But if Teofimo doesn't react quick within a round or two and make adjustments quick to Kambosos and what he's doing, that means Teofimo Lopez looked past Kambosos. That's how you're going to pinpoint it. You're going to pinpoint it quick. It's going to be early. You're going to tell by the third or fourth round whether Teofimo Lopez showed up for this fight. Official prediction coming, but could this be a trap fight? Hit me up. God bless.